This video, we're headed into Mays Landing, taking a look at the Hamilton Mall. And we'll go through the history of the Hamilton Mall and talk as much as we can on our visit here in 2025. And sure, a lot has changed since its first opening in 1987. Massive building, 1,280,500 square feet, making it the largest mall in southeastern New Jersey, or South Jersey, essentially at that point. So this video is to go through the history and the development while we bring you up to date of where it's at now, while showing you pretty much footage of where it's at now. But how did it open? Well, the construction of this Hamilton Mall was a $1 million project that began November 1985 by a company that was called Kravco Company LLC and JCP Realtor, eventually opening the mall September of 1987, right before the rush for the holidays, which is a big deal back in the 80s. Now, still, you'll see some of the stores from its original opening, such as Macy's, JCPenney's, which I don't think is there, and Sears is definitely not there anymore. JCPenney's, they both have been relocated to the Shore Mall, which is the Hamilton Square. Now, the mall entertainment allowed for 4 major department stores. That the one was never built. There was an intention for it to eventually happen. Now going into the actual September of 1987, so in the history as we go through, the small strip mall was called the Convention Center, opened adjacent from the racetrack on the north side of the property. There's several restaurants, including Red Lobster in 1991. It opened. Olive Garden in 1995. I actually remember when that opened. Buffalo Wild Wings in 2013. Remember that one? And then also the Longhorn Steakhouse, which is still there today, and Buffalo Wild Wings is still there today, which were added outside of the mall. So eventually taking away from the people inside the mall if you wanted to go to the food court. The food court used to have Taco Bell. It was a big deal back then. I remember it was the only Taco Bell in town, but things have changed and the food court is completely different now. But we're going to go through every part of this mall on this short video. We're going to also talk about some of the changes we saw in 2009 with the new children's play area that was added on the first floor. In 2013, the mall underwent a 4-phase redesign, which included renovating vacant tenants and including 24,000 square feet of new construction for a new mall entrance that you saw in the early part, which has HM and Forever 21, the stores. Now that they shouldn't even probably have done that, to be honest with you. Because the redesign is probably the only change that you could see throughout the mall in its history. The food court, everything just seems to get closed, I hate to say, or at least relocated downstairs. There's my favorite place right there. But they have it downstairs, and we did end up getting some food from there. The chicken teriyaki bowl was the best deal in town. And we also ended up seeing some things around the mall that just, well, I guess it's just starting to age. There's been so many closing of stores here. Sears in 2018 actually worked at this Sears 10 years prior to that closing, and maybe even a little bit more. JCPenney's in 2019, so those were back to back right before COVID, which is kind of telling. And then also Shopping World was acquired, and then that space from 2021 was eventually vacant. Shopping World. You also have Home Living and Mattress, which opened in 2024. That's still there. And then you have a few other Forever One that closed in 2025. So even the ones that they just opened eventually closed. The ownership, well, July 2019, it was sold, the Hamilton Mall, to another realtor company, which specialized in distressed shopping centers. Now, despite losing 2 major chains and not having much there, there's still a pretty vibrant real estate apocalypse, one would call, that takes place here. That's pretty interesting to walk around and see. I don't want to be negative, but that's just kind of the way it is. It's part of the increasing number of independently owned special businesses and non-realtor stores and tenants, as well as unique position as the only enclosed mall in both Atlantic and Cape County. So, there's a lot of opportunities here. It's the vacancy, February 2025, the mall has reported over 30 stores empty, leading to some described a dead mall. However, it still remains open, which is pretty cool. We're going to go through some of the other histories, but more importantly, we want to turn this into a Reddit type feel. Is it going to turn into the racetrack right down below, or is it going to turn into another vibrant mall? I think malls maybe have potential to turn around. You look at the Cherry Hill Mall; it's constantly busy, but you have to have a reason to go there. So I'm hoping that this turns more into a medical type mall. I think that has the best chance. It would be cool to see, obviously, an indoor golf facility here. I mean, it would be unfortunate for this beautiful building to eventually get demolished, but I don't know if there's plans for that or if there ever was, but I'm sure it was discussed. You got 30 stores that are empty. But get over to the Hamilton Mall, support your local mall. If you have any information that you can provide, be sure to add that down in the comment section below. We don't have